Welcome to Long Story Short. Today we are dissecting Charles Dickens' 1859 masterpiece, A Tale of Two Cities, a novel that stands as one of the most famous works of historical fiction for its epic exploration of resurrection and sacrifice, against the blood-soaked backdrop of the French Revolution. Uh, Imagine being a man who has wasted his life in a haze of alcoholism and self-loathing because he believes he has nothing to live for. Then imagine finding a person who looks exactly like you, a man who has the family and the love and the future that you threw away. You are given one final chance to make your life mean something by stepping into the shadow of the guillotine so that the person you love can find happiness. That is the haunting and redemptive reality for our protagonist, Sidney Carton. This book is not just a history lesson about London and Paris. It is a profound study of the doubleness of human nature and the terrifying way that systemic oppression can turn a hungry mob into a mindless machine of death. Long story short, A Tale of Two Cities is a searing examination of social upheaval and a beautiful testament to the idea that love is the only force capable of recalling a soul to life. Let us set the scene in 1775. The novel begins with the famous line stating, "It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times." Dr. Alexandre Manette is recalled to life after being unjustly imprisoned in the Bastille for 18 years. He is reunited with his daughter Lucy, who represents the light and the golden thread that holds the characters together. On a ship to England, they meet Charles Darnay, a young French aristocrat who has renounced his family's cruel legacy. Darnay is a direct character foil to Sidney Carton. While Darnay is honorable and successful, and loved, Carton is a brilliant but cynical lawyer who views himself as a hopeless jackal serving others. Both men fall in love with Lucy, but she chooses the stable and noble Darnay. Carton accepts this with a tragic grace, promising Lucy that he would do anything for her or for anyone she loves. The plot enters a violent and chaotic phase as the French Revolution explodes. Darnay is lured back to Paris to save a former servant, but he is immediately arrested by the revolutionaries because of his aristocratic bloodline. He is targeted by Madame Defarge, a direct moral foil to the compassionate Lucy. While Lucy seeks to heal and build, Madame Defarge is a figure of absolute and cold-blooded revenge who spends her days knitting the names of those destined for the guillotine. She represents the boiling rage of the French peasantry. Despite Dr. Manette's influence, Darnay is sentenced to death because of the crimes committed by his father and uncle years ago. The past has finally caught up to the present, and there is no legal escape. If Charles Dickens' dramatic and sprawling 1859 prose feels overwhelming, and you want to truly understand the core theme of the text, you can get the full audiobook entirely for free by starting an Audible trial with my link in the description below. Listening to the original text is the absolute best way to grasp the epic value and the rhythmic power of this novel. Now let us examine the ultimate sacrifice and the final redemption. Sidney Carton arrives in Paris and realizes that he is the only person who can save Lucy's husband. Using a secret connection to a prison spy, Carton enters Darnay's cell and drugs him into unconsciousness. Because they are physical doubles, Carton is able to switch places with Darnay. Darnay is carried out to safety with Lucy and their child, while Carton remains behind to face the executioners. On the road to the guillotine, Carton comforts a young seamstress who is also being executed, proving that he has finally found his own humanity through this act of total selflessness. His final thoughts are the most famous in literature, stating that it is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. Carton dies so that the golden thread of the Manette family can continue in peace. If you want to absolutely dominate your AP Literature exam, you need to weave these specific foundational symbols into your final essays. First, we have the knitting of Madame Defarge. The knitting represents the cold and relentless record of the revolution's victims. It symbolizes the fates from Greek mythology weaving the destiny of men. It highlights the theme that the violence of the revolution is a mechanical and unstoppable force that does not care about individual innocence. Second, you must discuss the symbol of the grindstone. The image of the revolutionaries sharpening their bloody weapons at a massive grindstone represents the dehumanizing and sharpening of human hatred. It symbolizes how the revolution has turned men into cold steel. Finally, the symbol of resurrection. This is the central motif of the novel scene in Dr. Manette being recalled to life and Sidney Carton being spiritually reborn through his death. It highlights the theme that even in the midst of total social destruction, the individual soul can find a way to be saved through sacrifice. If you have a paper or a test coming up, watching a summary gets you the plot, but reading Charles Dickens's actual prose is where you master the material. You can grab the physical copy on Amazon or get the audiobook completely for free with an Audible trial using the links in the description below. That is the long story short. Please like and subscribe for more literature breakdowns. See you in the next one.